Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today because we have some very exciting General Hospital news to talk about, and it's definitely worth the wait. You know, I was sitting right here in my old recliner last night with a cold glass of sweet tea in my hand, watching General Hospital like I do every single evening, and I tell you what, that show hit me right in the feels again. Curtis Ashford went and did it this time, folks. He's pointing his finger straight at Isaiah Gannon, accusing him of causing that car wreck the other night. And I swear my heart just about jumped out of my chest when I saw where this whole mess is heading. See, that very same night, Curtis and Jordan were driving along and had to swerve hard to miss some fool driving in the wrong lane. Turns out Isaiah was racing over to Lulu's house right about then, trying to get there as fast as he could without drawing attention. Poor little Rocco was burning up with fever and had this nasty infection settling into his hand. If he didn't get the right antibiotics quick, things could have turned real bad: blood infection, hospital stay, the whole nightmare. I sat there thinking about my own grandkids and how fast a little cut can go south when you're young and stubborn. Bless that boy's heart. Now here's the part that really got me. Rocco's the one who actually shot Ross Cullum that time. First time the kid ever touched a gun, and it went all wrong. The whole family's been covering it up, telling everybody he just sliced his hand open in the kitchen while helping out. But Isaiah's a doctor, sharp as a tack, and he wasn't going to buy that story for 1 minute. He came over anyway, quiet as a church mouse, because he made a promise to keep everything under wraps. Did it as a pure favor for Lucky Spencer, that's Lulu's brother, and he didn't even breathe a word to Portia about where he was really going. Just told her it was a simple house call. That right there tells you the kind of man Isaiah is. Loyal to the bone, putting somebody else's family ahead of his own comfort. I admire that more than I can say. But Curtis? Oh, Curtis is still carrying that old flame for Portia even after their divorce, and it's clouding his judgment something fierce. The minute he heard about a black German car being mixed up in that accident, he latched onto Isaiah like a tick on a hound dog. He marched right over and told the DA, Justine Turner, that she needed to investigate Isaiah as a suspect. I was shaking my head the whole time, muttering to myself, come on now, Curtis, don't go mixing your personal business with police work. Because from what I can tell, Isaiah wasn't driven no fancy sedan. He's got himself an SUV. But if Curtis keeps pushing and those paint samples from the wreck match up even a little bit with Isaiah's car, well, mercy, there's going to be more fireworks in Port Charles than the 4th of July. I keep thinking about little Rocco lying there with that fever, scared half to death that his secret's about to blow wide open. He's just a kid who made one terrible mistake, and now his mama Lulu is fighting tooth and nail to protect him. They're holding on to that kitchen cut story like it's the only thing keeping their world together. My heart really goes out to them. I've lived long enough to know that families carry secrets like that sometimes, hoping and praying nobody ever finds out. But one wrong word, one pushy accusation, and everything can come tumbling down faster than a house of cards in a windstorm. What gets me is how Curtis is letting his jealousy get the best of him. He and Portia may be divorced, but the way he's acting, you'd think Isaiah stole his last slice of apple pie. I've seen it happen in real life too many times. Good people let old feelings twist their thinking until they can't see straight. Isaiah was just trying to do the right thing, helping a sick boy who needed a doctor bad. He didn't ask for any of this trouble. If Curtis keeps poking around and the truth about Rocco comes spilling out because of it, well, I don't even want to think about how broken that family's going to be. I got to tell you, these storylines on General Hospital still grab me after all these years. They feel so real, like I'm watching my own neighbors go through hard times. I'm sitting here tonight wondering what's coming next. Will the truth about who really shot Cullum finally come flying out? Will Curtis finally realize he's barking up the wrong tree and back off before he tears two families apart? Or is Isaiah going to end up in hot water just for trying to lend a helping hand? You know, if Curtis keeps pushing this hard and Isaiah actually gets dragged into court as a witness, that good doctor is going to find himself between a rock and a hard place real fast. He'll have to stand up there in front of everybody, swear on that big old Bible, look the judge straight in the eye, and promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. No holding back, no leaving things out, no matter how much it might hurt the people he was trying to help, especially about why he rushed over to Lulu's house that night to treat young Rocco in secret. Just picture it happening right there in that courtroom. Justine Turner gets him on the stand, or maybe Molly Lansing Davis if she's back at work, and they start asking all kinds of pointed questions. Where exactly were you going that evening, Dr. Gannon? What time did you arrive at the Spencer house? Who called you? What exactly were you treating? And why didn't you take the boy to the hospital? They might press him hard on every little detail of Rocco's hand injury because that car accident investigation is getting bigger and more serious by the minute. Isaiah's an honest man through and through, the kind who takes his doctor's oath seriously. He's not the type to lie under oath, and since he didn't fill out any official hospital paperwork, didn't file any records, and didn't go through normal channels, that HIPAA protection folks usually count on probably won't shield him one bit. He'd have no choice but to come clean about the whole visit right there in front of God and everybody. And Mercy, once he starts describing that wound in his calm professional voice, that's when everything could come crashing down like a stack of dominoes. He'd have to explain how the injury wasn't some simple kitchen cut like the family's been telling everybody for weeks. No, sir. It was a serious infection setting in fast from a friction burn, the exact kind that doctors recognize right away as coming from a gun recoil. The lawyers, the judge, even the folks sitting in the gallery would pick up on it quick as a whistle. One smart follow-up question after another, and suddenly the whole room is connecting the dots. That boy Rocco had a gun in his hands that night. Before you know it, the secret the Falconeri family's been guarding so carefully would spill out right there in public for the whole town of Port Charles to hear. The truth about him being the one who shot Ross Cullum would be out in the open, loud and clear. I sit here thinking how heavy that burden must feel on Isaiah's shoulders right now. He only went over there as a quiet favor for his buddy Lucky Spencer, just trying to help a sick kid who was burning up with fever and at real risk of something a whole lot worse like blood poisoning. He didn't tell Portia the real reason he was leaving, kept it all under wraps like a true friend would, even though it meant driving fast that night and maybe being in the wrong place at the wrong time for that accident. Now, because of Curtis's jealousy and stubbornness over Portia, that kind act might end up destroying the very family he was trying to protect. Rocco's just a scared boy who made one awful mistake with a gun. He's already lying there fighting that high fever, tossing and turning, and now his whole world could come tumbling down in a courtroom full of strangers. Lulu must be worried sick, holding on to that kitchen story with everything she's got, praying day and night that nobody digs too deep. My heart really aches for her and that boy. I've lived long enough to see how one truthful answer, said under oath because you have no other choice, can rip a family apart faster than a summer storm tears through a cornfield. Curtis thinks he's just chasing down the truth about that black car and the accident, but he's stirring up a whole hornet's nest that could hurt innocent people, especially a child who's already suffering more than any kid should. And what worries me most is how this could change everything for Rocco down the road. Once the truth is out in the open like that, there's no stuffing it back in the box. The boy might have to face real questions from the police, maybe even juvenile court, lawyers, and reporters. Poor Lulu would be carrying the weight of trying to protect him, while the whole town whispers behind their backs, pointing fingers, and judging a mother who was only trying to save her son. It's the kind of mess that makes you realize how one jealous man's push can start a chain reaction that nobody saw coming. Isaiah's caught right in the middle, trying to do right by his medical oath, his promise to a friend, and the law all at the same time. I sure hope the writers give these folks some grace before it all blows up too big, because watching good people get caught in the crossfire like this tugs at your heartstrings every single time. Man, I can't wait to tune in tomorrow. These characters have become like old friends to me, and I'm rooting for every last one of them, even stubborn Curtis. Pass the popcorn, folks, because this ride through Port Charles is just getting started, and I wouldn't miss a minute of it for all the tea in Georgia.